Hey YouTube, while I'm not working and sick and unsure of what to do with myself, thought I'd record a video recapping my experience with the event. If you weren't aware, the International Timing League Online 2022 event was an online event for StepMania 5 that was focused on technique and timing. It was organized by ITC, International Timing Collective, and it featured charts for members in the community, highlights on my YouTube channel like you may have been watching, I streamed every time I turned on my cab, and we had 1,020 people sign up for ITL, and 684 of those submitted a score. I got first. Still can't really believe that. I had a private goal of getting top 4, so it's just extremely unexpected. So ranking points are what determined your rank, naturally. There were other categories like total points, quads, quints, but ranking points is what most people cared about in the end. All songs had a point value, and specific full combos granted bonus points. So you got 500, 400, 200, 100, respectively, for quints, quads, FECs, and FCs. What else? Rivals. So I was mostly motivated by my rivals this event. I wanted to take this time especially to give a supreme and massive shout out to my brother Max Storm, aka Rob. What an exceptional job you did, friend. And Max's strengths are all my weaknesses, and I think vice versa too. And that makes the rivalry extremely fun. Love you, man. And then I also wanted to shout out Tony and Paul, just inspirational, phenomenal players. I think Paul is better than me at 4 panel dance games at every aspect. So really unexpected for me to be able to trump him on the leaderboards. It's a bummer that Paul didn't get to maintain his pad much when he needed to, and then ended up moving towards the end of the event. Chris Chike not entering, Twix not entering, Chrono being MIA. That all made it kind of a bummer. I really love playing with these guys, and the competitive atmosphere is amazing with them. So I feel like this first place has an asterisk behind it a little bit, but maybe that's just my imposter syndrome. But hey, if I'm making a consciousness dump, this is what's going in it. My most proud accomplishments, it's really hard for me to pick out any specific one score that I'm the most proud of. I feel like I leveled up so much in the last 3 months. I'm proud of really everything I did. There are some ridiculous things though. Quadding Sobak 14, 4 white on Symbolic 13, having the only 99% EX on side B, 4 white quad on backyard 12, having more quints in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place combined, quinting 4 different 11 blocks in the event, having over 80 quads more than the 2nd place quadder, quadding my first 2 ever 15 blocks, FECing Inferno, a FOMO Hout, and keeping 2nd place on it only behind Paul, 7 white quad on Mothership 13, first quad in the world on R Black Den 13, amongst others. Sometimes I get really nice DMs from people asking me how to practice getting better at timing. And the answer sucks. It's really just to spend more time getting better, thinking about and understanding the game, basically. Things are good in threes, so I think it comes down to 3 things: counting, seeing, and moving. So when I say counting, I think the most underrated skill in timing is being able to consider the role you play in the game as a dancer or musician type. Because this game is beyond just a game, and I don't mean that in like a corny or sappy sense, or like wise, sage sense. To master this game, you must master rhythm. The same way a dancer or musician has to master rhythm. To be specific, these folks can't dance or play music, respectively, without being able to count music, right? So when I say counting, that's what I mean, literally counting music. That's really the first place I'd recommend mastering. If you can count music and hear or feel the rhythm in every song you play on the game, you're going to be miles ahead of everybody else in terms of timing. The second thing is seeing. So after you're counting music, then you need to learn how to translate what you're seeing into actual controller inputs, right? And so this game is 3 parts. You hear music, that helps add context to 2, the notes on the screen, that then get input by 3, your legs, right? So after you've mastered the complicated principle of counting to 4, I recommend spending time figuring out what judgments, note skins, like tilt, other settings work best for you. Mess around with your read speed, mess around with your mini percentage. Get everything looking and feeling like you need to in order to process only what you need to without sacrificing your reaction time, right? And have the things that are giving you good feedback and remove the things that aren't. If you're a newer player, I stress moving slowly through new rhythms. So first, think about what a bunch of red or quarter notes look like in a chart, right? If you've mastered that, you know what that sounds like and looks like. Start adding some blue notes here and there. Blue or eighth notes, right? So those are half beats, right? So be able to process what you're seeing to the music that you're hearing. Counting and seeing together. If you're an intermediate player, it's all about pattern recognition. So the holy trinity of tech is foot switch, bracket, and crossover. Everything is kind of derivative of those 3 things. So learn what foot switches look like by playing lots of foot switch charts. Same with brackets, same with crossovers. If you can't see and detect these patterns as an intermediate player, you won't be able to progress. If you're an advanced player, play songs like Fractal 13 or really any 12 or 13 from the Prickly Pear Pack to test your ability to hear music and see how it's visualized on the screen. Are you able to distinguish between 32nd and 24th bursts? Can you see side switches and differentiate them from jacks, right? So it's about seeing. The last part's moving. So once you've mastered being able to see and react to colors, arrows mapped to music, you're able to perfectly count to 4, etc. Then it's all about how you're going to make contact with the panels or turn your body or point your toes down to hit a bracket, whatever. Everything you can see, then count, gets translated by your brain to then move your legs and do something about it, right? And so this is the part that takes the most practice, and after 21 years is the thing I'm constantly practicing and improving. You'll see tweet storms from Chris talking about how crossovers are the hardest thing in DDR and all these ways that he's tried to master them. So really it's about practicing the fundamentals. That's the bottom line. You should not be thinking about getting drafted to the NBA before you can make a few layups in a row, right? Contrary to what some TOs may think, in my opinion, stop trying to push for a clear on a 14 by flailing, and for a moment just work on FECing or quadding a 12. Go back down, master movement, and in my opinion, that's a really effective way to practice reps of a specific tech you need to focus on. And really, in my opinion, and I think this is self-evident for me, to get good at timing, you must master the fundamentals of movement. And so kind of a quick tangent, not really, but those are some of my thoughts on kind of like when people ask how I get better at timing. That's what I think. So future thoughts, it'd be amazing to have timing matter even more in the event. I don't have any solutions right now, but I've spoken with my friends, Vincent and Sujit. They have some good thoughts. I just have strong feelings against only rewarding ranking points for 14s at the highest level. The fact that I was getting scores like 4 whites on Bunny House 12, 4 whites on Backyard 12, 99% EX on Blue Shadows 12. How about 7 white quad on Bass Drop 13 and getting 0 ranking points for all those just feels so bad. Like, why do I need to develop a skill set I don't have, which is to beast 14s like Paul, right? Or Leon or whatever. And my rivals don't need to develop the skill set to FA 11s or 12s that can be as impossible to FA as 14s. Valor says, what's up, by the way. And, like a few days ago, again, I got that bass drop score with 7. 0 ranking points. Like, that feels so bad as a competitor. Like, oh my god, that felt so bad. Like, sure, there's other leaderboards, and which really means other ways of sorting the leaderboard table, which is another thing. But what's the point of pulling out all the stops on a timing tournament and getting that crazy focus and those hype moments when all that matters are 14s? It sucks. It's just such a unfulfilling experience for me personally. On that note, like, I have nothing but respect for the ITC team, but I really don't feel like, I don't feel like I was a net positive in helping out this year. And so, in fact, I feel like I was maybe a net negative, and for that, I'm really remorseful. I think I may have even had a detrimental effect. And again, I've apologized to the respective parties, and I do feel bad. But yeah, I mean, if the ITC team wants my help, like, I'm down to get involved. But selfishly, I'd like to remove myself just because I knew all the DLC that was coming up, and that made it less fun for me. And I really enjoy participating in tournaments more than organizing them. On that note, we should be announcing kind of soon that we're going to be postponing the Guildhouse San Jose tournament. I'm sick. The EO is sick. Excuse me. A couple other people are sick. We have low turnout. COVID rates are spiking again on the Bay. So a lot of shit going on, man. All right, I think that's the most I can talk right now. I got toilet paper roll that I've been just going to town, blowing my nose like literally every 10 minutes. Sucks. But hope everyone out there is doing well. And maybe I'll make more videos like this. Hope you enjoyed some of my consciousness podcast style dumping. I'm not going to edit this at all. And enjoy the portrait mode video viewing. Peace, everybody. Take care. Fucking 3x. Oh, God. What the fuck? I mean, it's not even close, really.